We are live now. Let's just see. Wait a minute. Let's just see. Play with us. Just wait a minute. No, no. It's okay. I think it is kind of okay. I think we are good to go. Okay. Now it's fine. So what are the other things we need? Now we are live. We are live. Sorry for that. I hope you don't hear anything. You didn't hear anything. Sorry for that. Now the problem is that my thumbnail, it's not, it just, I thought that it just set it to some random clips in my in my live, but I just set it to something like why my just why my YouTube channel thumbnail set it some random banner. Random clip short. Just wait a minute. I'll just do this. Here you have a okay. Just it takes so much time. Great observation. Your YouTube doesn't always pick a random frame or the thumbnail. Okay. What is that? Before the live stream, your channel place order unit. Okay. After the live stream end, you may guarantee auto thumbnail from them. Yeah, but how to fix this? How to upload the thumbnail content? Find your live stream and click the pin and select on edit. Upload slide. That YouTube auto generate after stream. No, that's not good. Let's just see. My voice is pretty low. Don't you hear me? The problem is, if we play live stream in the another monitor, it's going to be transfer the sound in this monitor. That's not what I want. Just let's just wait a minute. I just want to upload some stream. Just cd to go and ls cd to http. It's a cd to header and dot accept or yeah, and just the Ramaxor. Why it's taking so much time? I don't have much time. I need to start coding. Uh, I think it's fine, but okay, let's just leave it as it is and start programming. Just before we get into the programming part, yeah, it's really tempting to share. Do I need to share this? I don't know. Okay. Do we need to do this? I don't think so. I just leave it as it is and just I just thought just start the journey. Okay, where we left. Yeah, this is the book. It's awesome book. So this is the book I want to talk about. It's this book is about Rust. Okay, so these are the authors: Steve, Coral, Chris. So it's a really a good book. If you're a beginner, even if you're intermediate in Rust, you can learn so much things in this book. So first of all, I'm not very good at Rust, but I know something. I know a little bit. And now I just learning Rust. I'm not a they call what they call something like Rustantians. I'm not still there yet, but I'm learning. I'm no bit of Rust, but I'm not expert at this. Okay. So in this live, what I want to do is that I just want to go through this book chapter by chapter and code examples. I know I think there is a lot of code snippets in this book. So just execute all of the code and show the result and read uh, the book clearly and properly, and just wanted to cover as much we can. I think it's relatively 21, it have the 21 chapters, and yeah, that's it. I just want to go through this. Okay, I'm not a Rustantian, I'm not a Rust developer, but as a beginner, I just want to show how we can, you know, study and code side by side. And another thing I want to tell you is that we are not going to use AI so much, because yeah, it's going to be very helpful, but I know, but it's not. I don't think it's yeah, it's very helpful while you're studying, but it's kind of like whenever we use AI, it's much more feel like we are just using the shortcuts. It's kind of feel like that because we are not forcing ourselves to study the entire documentation step by step, because even though you don't understand everything in the documentation or the book, but you still have this uh, you can still have this, how to say, the skill of forcing yourself to sit still and study the documentation, even though it's very complex, and you don't know, you don't have any idea about anything in that documentation. It's really hard to understand. Even though it's really hard to understand, it's really good to have the skill of just still and steady. Don't use any other any other you don't depend on any other things like AI or whatever. It's just you and the material. uh, if you develop something like that, um, I would say pretty soon you are going to understand most of the things in programming very easily, because that's a real skill in it. Navigating through the messy code base with the messy documentation, it's a real skill. In the programming world, it's a real skill. If you don't depend on anything, I would say one day you will be very good at, not just not just intermediate good level programmer. I would say you will be a very good at programming. Okay, let's just start this. Okay, let's just start. Hmm, can I see any chart? I'm getting a lot of messages. I don't know. I don't know who is that, but okay. Just wait a minute for this. We can put this in a silent mode. Let's go to this introduction part. Okay. So this is Rust language. Okay. So this is the introduction. The edition of the book is same as the Rust program available in the print and e-format from the no starch. Okay, whatever. Okay, let's welcome to the Rust programming language, an introductory book about Rust. The Rust programming will help you to Rust faster and more reliable software. High-level economics, low-level control often add in programming language design. Rust challenges the conflict through the balancing power, technical capacity, and the greater developer experience. To be honest, this is really true. Really true. Greater developer experience. Yeah. Yeah. In the beginning of the live, I just said that I'm not a Rust developer, which means I'm not completely a Rust programmer yet, but I still experience this thing. It's a yeah. I worked on a lot of other languages as well: Python, TypeScript, and C. Um, but I would say still Rust is the only. I mean, not only. Still, Rust is better than all in a developer experience. It's kind of very nice. Uh, I don't know why it is, but Rust is kind of feel like a very clean to code and add. There is a package manager in Rust called Cargo. It's amazing. It's amazing. We will see that. We will see that in future, but it's amazing. Okay. Rust gives you the optional control low-level details such as memory usage with all the traditional associated with such a control. Okay, who is Rust for? Rust is ideal for many people, varieties of reasons. Let's look at few of the most important groups. Team of developers. Rust is proving to be a productive tool for collaborating among large team of a developer with a varying level of system programming knowledge. So if you don't know the Rust, I mean, why the I mean, in which area Rust is very good for is system programming. Rust is relatively fast language compared to C, but yeah, it's compared to C, but not always fast as C. But it's compared to C, and a lot of the code bases are planning to migrate from C to Rust. is because the thinkers the Rust have, which is C doesn't have, is that this memory safety method. So Rust is kind of like how to say, it's faster C but very safety. So it helps you to basically it helps you to do address these major bugs. Not only address this, totally avoid. You cannot do major bugs like maybe major memory related bugs, something like clearing pointer address or referencing the how to say null pointer and changing the value in the null pointer address or something like that. You cannot do that. No, you can do that, but default you cannot do that. If you want to do those things, you can do that, like in C, but it's still defaultly it's still encourage this kind of a safety system where you have to follow certain rules, and yeah, you have to follow certain rules. It's not a choice. You need to do that, otherwise your Rust code won't run. That's the way Rust how built this. uh, that's why it's really good at this area, system programming, because in the system programming area you need to take care of the safety system very carefully, because if you run into any kind of trouble, any if you make any bugs, memory related or compute related, it's going to be hunt you down, because whether it's a major bug or a minor bug, it's if it is there, it's a vulnerability. uh, so it's one of the vulnerability in your system. Even if someone knows that, they can easily hack your system or do whatever they want to. They can exploit your system, you know. It's really very important in production grade systems, safety. So that's why, yeah, that's why many softwares are planning to migrate from C to Rust, but it's not happened yet all over the place. But we can see some of the things like the Linux. They introduce some kernel in Linux in Rust, so they kind of start migrating, but not fully. C is still the best language, you know. It's not still is one of the C is, in my opinion, C is the OG, original goat. It's have been around, I don't know, 50 years, more than 50 years, I think. It's way long. Okay, low level code is prone to various subtle bugs. This is what I just mentioned before, which is the most other language can caught only through the extensive testing and careful code review by experienced developer. In the Rust, the compiler plays a gatekeeper role by refusing to compile. This is what I just said. In Rust, the compiler plays a gatekeeper role by refusing to compile code within these exclusive bugs, including concurrency bugs. Okay, this is what I just mentioned before. You cannot do the Rust force you to follow this kind of safety methods, so that you can avoid those bugs in your code. By working alongside the compiler, the team can spend their time focusing on the programming logic rather than chasing down bugs. Okay, that's really a good take. This thing is this compiler thing. I need to talk about this because Rust compiler is amazing. It's amazing because oh my god, it's how I don't know how I put this, but you can code. You can code absolutely production ready, very safety and reliable software. Okay, and you don't have any let's say you are not expert in Rust, but you have the compiler thing, and you have some let's say you have some amount of programming knowledge in Rust, but you are not expert. But if you use compiler properly, you can build a very very safety and I I don't know, very safety and reliable software using just a compiler. Because when you look at other compilers, like and see, you cannot. It's not give you. It's not give you perfect something like human understandable errors. Yeah, it will give that. But when it compared to Rust compiler, it's not good as Rust compiler because uh, Rust compiler tells you everything you need step by step. If you make this mistake, it will say, "Hey, you are mentioning this in your code, but in Rust programming we are mention something like this for this." It's more human readable. So when it comes to Rust, I don't know when it comes to Rust, it's a good thing to do. Read the error. Normally, when you're programming C or C++, any language, other language, you basically most developer won't read any error at all. They just I would say they kind of just know some of the things, then they understand. Oh, this is the problem. We can fix it together, or you can just copy paste to ChatGPT and ask what is the error. It will tell you pretty clear. But in Rust, it's very encourageable to read the error because once you read it, it's going to give you a lot of information about the error. Rust have this pretty feature. Uh, okay, Rust also bring competency developer tool to system programming world. Cargo. This is what I just mentioned. This is a package manager. It's kind of like uh, if you are come from the web development area, it's kind of like a npm or pnpm or something like that. Um, if I come from the Python, I think it's a pip. Yeah, it's a pip. Um, it's kind of like that. So it's basically a package manager. It can install whatever package you want. If you mention it, it can install. Okay, including dependency manager and build tool making. Yeah, it's not only yeah, it's doing a lot of things. We will cover that in future. We'll go through this just a second. Wait a minute. Make adding and compiling and managing dependence and painless consistent across. Okay, that's basically fine. Or for a tool to ensure the consistent code style across developer. Okay, these things you can use if you are like just a formatter and analyzer provide integrated development environment ID integration for the code completion and inline error messaging. Just tools for increasing your productivity, formatter and code completion too, and inline error messaging. Okay, it's just basically whenever you make some error in your code, you don't have to wait for to compile it to show it. It just these tools can show while you are making the error. Not all error can be discovered by this, because it's these tools are relatively showing simple errors, not all the errors. Okay, some of the errors you can only find in compile time, some of the errors only you can only find in runtime, some of the errors you can find with these tools. So that is the way it is. By using these and other tools in Rust ecosystem, developers can provide developers can be sorry for that, I'm not paying attention, I don't know why. But developers can productive while writing a system level code. Rust is for students, those who are not interested in okay, Rust is for students, those who are interested in learning about system concept using Rust. Many people have learned about topics like operating system development. Community is very welcome and happy to answer students' question. Yeah, interesting. Yeah, this thing. Yeah, this is the thing. Rust have most of its potential. Operating system OS development, and uh, I just said you before that. Hey, there is a lot of I think Linux introducing Rust in their code base. It's relatively, yeah, it's a big thing, because Linux, you don't know. If you're a developer, you will know Linux. I think most developers in this world using Linux, um, more than Windows, right? Linux is amazing operating system, and you have a lot of distros. But if they are introducing this Rust in their code base, that just basically mean it have the potential. Community is very welcoming, and another language you don't know. I think yeah, but in future lives I would cover. I'm planning to cover this language called Zik. That's also have show some potential in this area of operating system development, but it's not a memory saved language, but it's a good language. It's like C, but it's not exactly like C. Yeah, it is it's fast as C compared to C, but you can do still bugs in Zik, but this time it's not going to be some totally nonsensical bugs, but it's going to be kind of like you can see which kind of bugs can be can be going to be which kind of bugs can be we can make in our code, but some of the bugs we don't, which is C is still allowed to do it. um, but Zik kind of, I'm not familiar with Zik yet, but I read some blogs and documentations about it. They just said this is what they just said. Zik is not like memory saved language, but it can save you from some of the bugs by kind of what they just said. They just mentioned this word called allocators. I don't know what it is, but it's kind of a feature that embedded in Zik that kind of saving you from some nasty bugs. Okay, and these are the major candidates nowadays in OS development. If you're into OS development, you know that very well. Uh, Zig, Rust, C. These are the major figure, and C is still the king, and Rust is kind of like showing his potential, and Zig also. But Rust is much more popular than Zig, I think. But Zig also still a good candidate for this. Okay, but uh, when it comes to learning, I don't know, Rust is good or Zik is good, but the Rust is harder than Zik, I think. Okay, let's. I think we are just out of the track, but okay. The community is very welcoming and answers happy to answer student questions. The efforts such as this book, Rusty. Okay, first of all, I want to say one thing because if I make any mistakes while I'm writing, don't take it serious. But and I still make some stupid mistakes while I'm reading and even I'm speaking because my English is not my primary language. I'm not good at English very well, but I can speak, I can understand, but I'm not a I'm not a pro in English. So, but whatever. But I can assure you that I can tell you the meaning of each line exactly. I can do that very well because I read this before. But it's kind of stupid thing to say that oh, you don't care about my reading, just care about my what I'm saying. But it's not. Sorry for that, but I do my best. You know, sometimes I may make mistakes. Okay, the community is very welcoming and happy to answer the student question through each effort such as this book. The Rust team want to make sure system concepts more accessible to more people, especially those to programming. Okay, 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 understandable. Company companies, hundreds of companies and large and small use Rust in production various tasks, including command line tools, web servers, DevOps tooling, embedded systems, audio and video analyzer, transcoding type cryptocurrencies, bioinformation, search engines, Internet of Things, application, machine learning, even major part of the Firefox web process. Yeah, it's true. It's true. And there is a lot of things in web development are written in Rust. I think there is a tool called, I cannot remember the name of it, but it's what it is. It's I think it's a oh man, I cannot remember this tool, but something. It's a very important tool in web development called. It's used for packing. Uh, Basically, say that is a webpack. The tool called webpack. Just convert your React code into some optimized JS file, and you can static file. That's what they call static files, and you can put that in any kind of framework, backend framework. Okay, whether it's a Django or a Express, or you can use any kind of framework. Once you convert this React code into a static files, you can put inside of those backend frameworks. You can still use server-side rendering and a single page application. So you don't need to have these different hosts to deploy your application where front end in the one server and back end in the another server. So it's kind of like that. Yeah, I think the Rust is written in those in those areas Rust still use. Uh, and I don't know about DevOps tooling, but it's true they are using embedded systems obviously, and command line tools. Yeah, of course, search engines, but you cannot still find so much big products. You will not find so much big products in Rust because It's still I don't know why, but there is no very big something compared to C. You know, I would say C is everywhere. You can see everywhere, but Rust is still not there. But it have potentials. Rust for want to build the Rust programming language community and developer tools and libraries. We would love to have you contribute to the Rust language, of course. Okay, people who value speed and stability, yeah, of course, those are the people who will use Rust. Rust is for people who crave speed and stability in the language. By speed, we means both how quick Rust can code run and the speed at which Rust lets you to write program. Okay, but I would say, I don't know, maybe Rust is still Rust is harder to learn, but it simplifies many things. But C is easier to learn, but it's complicates many concepts. Okay, complicates many implementations. That's how we can say this, because when you learn Rust, you almost feel like it's very hard to code in Rust because so many things that are going on. It's so hard, and there is a lot of data types and the result type and the error type, and there is so much things going on, these kind of macros and a lot of things in Rust. It's hard compared to other language, but it still simplifies many of the things when it's come to the implementation part. When it's learning, it's hard, but when it's come to the implementation part, when you are really implementing something, some software, it's protection ready, and it simplifies a lot of the things for you. That is true. But in C, it's the other way around. In C, it is not like that. In C, it's totally a different thing. Just wait a minute. In C, it's a totally a different thing, because C complicates many things, but it's still very easy to learn. C. Okay. The Rust compiler checks ensures stability through feature addictions and refactoring. This is the context to the see code in language without these checks, which developers often afraid to modify. Exactly. That is the one of the major things Rust really well in is their compiler. And their compiler is really amazing. They give you more insights about your code base and how everything works. It's really nice to have Rust compile. By steering for zero cost abstraction, high level features that compile to lower level code as fast as code return manually. Rust endeavors to make safe code be fast as well. Okay, that's okay. Rust language goes to hopes to support many other users as well. Those mentioned here merely some of the biggest stakeholders overall. Rust create ambitious to eliminate the trade-off that programmers have accept engaged by providing safety and productivity, speed, and ergonomics. Give Rust a try and see if it is its choice works for you. Why not? Let's give the Rust a try. Who's this book for? This book for and This book assumes that you have written another program, but does not make any assumptions about which one. We have tried to make this material broadly accessible to those from wide variety of programming background. Okay, that's fine. And we don't spend a lot of time taking about programming is thinking about what is programming is, or how to think about it. If you are entirely new to programming, you would be better served by the reading a book that specifies providing instruction to programming. That's an introduction to programming. That's true. That's obvious. If you are new to programming and you know nothing about programming, this place is kind of tricky for you, hard for you, because this book is not talking about how programming works, what is programming, introduction to programming. I just fully about Rust. So we are pretty quickly, I think we are getting to more complex topics in Rust. So if you know nothing about programming, you might check some other books or blogs just to get familiar with some like how programming works. You are not to be expert at it, but you need to have some idea about it. Then you can good to go. Then you are basically good to go. You can read this book. If you are a beginner and this is Rusty your first language, I would say it's hard, but once you did Rust, other languages are going to be very easy for you. That is the way it is. If you're first time if you're if this is your first time learning programming, I highly recommend you to learn C as your first language. Rust Rust it's tricky to say Rust because Rust is pretty hard for you, but if you like hot things, you can do it. Give it a try. But I can assure you that if you learned about these things, you can when you search when you want to learn other language, that would be much more easier than this, because these are the real hard language in the programming entire programming system. Not only I'm not saying there is a lot of other language like assembly, Haskell. These language are hard too, but those are not widely used as assembly is not widely used. You can write code in higher abstraction, not in a very lower abstraction like assembly, you know. So if you like hard things, give it a try. Okay, how to use this book? In general, book assumes you are this is what is just reading a sequence of from front to back. Later chapter built on concept in earlier chapters, and early chapters might not dive into details on particular topics, but we will revisit the topics in later chapters, of course. So they are introducing a lot of concepts in early chapters, which will they will not go through, but after some chapters they will basically give details about those things. Okay, things. Yeah, no. I find two kind of in this book, chapter, concept chapter, and project chapter. Okay, how to use this book in general. This book is assumes okay. In the chapter, you find two kind of chapter in this book, concept chapter and project chapters. Okay, that's fine. Just content and the code, we can say like that. In concept chapters, you will learn about aspects of Rust. In project chapter, we will build small programs together. This is what I just want to tell, is that we will build small programs together and we will read the book. Okay, that's what you are doing now. Okay, applying what you just learned so far as chapter 2, 12, 21, or project chapters. Interesting. The rest are concept chapters. Okay, other than 2 to 12, 21, everything is a concept chapter. Explains how to install Rust, how to work how to write a hello program, how to use a cargo package manager, and build tools. Okay, we are going to write a hello program, and this we are going to use this cargo. So this is very important tool in Rust ecosystem. You need to get familiar with it. Science after hands-on introduction to writing program, and here we cover concepts at a higher level. Later we provide additional details. Yes, of course they are. If you want to get your hands dirty right away, this is what I just told. If you want to get study right away. Chapter 2 plays for, okay, they are just chapter 2 they are building guessing game. Okay, chapter 3 covers Rust features that are similar to those other programming languages like data types, you know, keywords, lot of things. Those are operations. Those are things that are in all the programming languages. Okay, if you are a particular request learner who want to prefer to learn every details before moving before, just wait a minute. I have a little problem. Okay, now. Okay, if you are particular who purpose to learn every details before moving on to the next, you might want to skip chapter 2. Okay, just fine, go to the start. That's not what we are going to do. We are going to let's just make our turns 30. Okay, return to the chapter 2 when I'd like to work on project applying the details you learned. That's just fun. Chapter 5 discussing struct method. Okay, chapter 5 discussing struct method, and chapter is kind of enums and match expressions, and if let control flow construct you will struct enums to make custom types in Rust. So these are the things. This is a way, one of the most important thing you need to learn in Rust. Custom types. Uh, you would use this very often, and you would basically build this from enums or struct and some other things as well, like union. These things are there as well. Yeah, and you chapter 7 you will learn about Rust module system, about privacy rules for organizing your code in and its public application programming interface API. Okay, chapter 8 discussing some of the common collection data structure that a standard library provides: vector, string, hash maps. Okay, vector is like array in C. If you are familiar in C, you can see if you are not only C, many other language supports array. So its vectors is like array. String is a string, normal string data type. I'm not sure about hash maps yet, but we can go through that. Okay. Chapter 9 expose array handling philosophy technical. It's kind of a, we will see. Okay. Chapter 10 dig into the generics. Yeah, this is very important. Traits and lifetimes, which gives you the power to define code that applies to multiple chapters. Okay, multiple types. Okay. Chapter 11 all about testing, which even with the Rust safety guarantees are necessary to your program logical is correct. That's true. Even with the Rust, if you're even if you're programming Rust, you need to do some testing as well. And chapter 12, we will build our own implementation of subset functionalities from the grep command line tool that search for text files. It's a Linux. I think it's a Linux command. It's kind of like a, this is what it is, command line tool that search for text within the file. Just grab those files. Nothing more than that. If you say something, grep and some line after it, it's going to be search the current directory and find the files which are the files have those lines. Okay. For this, we will use many of the concepts we discussed in previous chapters. And chapter 13. Oh my god, we just completed 1 hour live stream. It's interesting. Okay, I just left it. Chapter 13 explores closures and integration features of. Let's go through just fast. Let's just make our. Let's just get our hands dirty. Okay. Plus, rest that comes with a functional programming language. Okay, let's closures and iterators features rest comes with the programming. So if you don't know about Rust is a programming functional programming language. It's not an object-oriented language. It's kind of behave like that, but it's still a functional programming language like C, not like C++. Okay, we'll examine cargo in more depth, talk about step acquisition libraries. Okay. 15th I will discuss the smart pointers. This is one of the very important thing you need to when it's compared to system programming. Smart pointers that standard library provides and traits that enable their functionalities. You can this is basically saying that you can still use pointers and these kind of manual memory allocation, deletion, these kind of things in Rust like in C, but by defaultly it encourages you to safety. Chapter 16, we will work through different models of concurrency programming. Okay, concurrent programming, talking about low level Rust, help you to program in multiple threads fearlessly. Understandable. Multiple threads fearlessly. This is one of the places you need to very careful when programming multiple threads. That's very important. To don't make any bugs or mistakes in your code. If you do it, it's going to be cost you a lot. It is what it is. Okay, we built on that exploring Rust async and wait syntax. Okay, it's basically for in your web development you can recognize this async and wait syntax. And along with the tasks, not only web development, but whenever you're dealing with the threads or any kind of code that depends on external service, you will need this async feature. Task feature stream and lightweight concurrency model. Okay, chapter 8 look how idioms compared to object-oriented programming principle you may be familiar with. This is what I just mentioned before. And chapter 19 is reference on the patterns and pattern matching. That is this thing in Rust called pattern and pattern matching, which are a powerful way to expressing idea through Rust programming. Interesting. We will cover this idea. This is how macros works in Rust and match statements how works in Rust. We will cover that in in a minute. It is kind of like a switch statement in C, but much more safe, and yeah, which are powerful way to expressing ideas through the Rust programs. At 20, we contain advanced interest, including unsafe Rust. Okay, this is where get things like where things turn into something like a C, including Rust macros, unsafe Rust macros. They call unsafe Rust when you programming like in C. Sorry, when you programming in Rust like in C, it's called unsafe Rust. And the macros and more about lifetimes, traits, types, and functional unclosures. Okay, 21 after we complete the project, which we complete a lower level multi-thread web server. Finally, some of the appendix. Okay, containing useful information about language in more reference like format. Okay, just a basic code. This code does not compile. Code panics. Code does not provide the desired behavior. Understandable. You will see that in future. I just get started. Okay, in this chapter, let's go to the Rust study. Installing Rust on Linux, Mac OS, Windows. I'm using Mac OS. Okay, if you are using Linux or sorry, I'm using Linux. If you are using Mac OS or Windows, I will show. Okay, I just basically show all the methods. Okay, how you can install both on Linux, Mac OS, Windows. Write a hello in program and using cargo package manager. Installation. Let's go through this fastly. Okay, the first step to install, download the Rust app. We'll download through the Rust app. A command line tool for managing Rust versions and allocated tools. You'll need an internet connection for download. Of course, you'll need to. If you prefer not to use Rust app for some reason, please see other installation method. Okay, Rust app is kind of like a command line tool. It have a lot of standard library implementation in it. Rust app. We will see that when we are doing programming. For now, let's just go through this. Okay, following steps: install the latest version of Rust compiler, stability guarantee, example books, compiler continuity. Okay. Might differ between the versions and Rust of improvement. Okay. Understand. So all you need to take care of this is the command line notation in the chapter. Through the book, we will show some commands used in terminal lines that you should enter in the terminal at all. Start with this. You don't need to type a character. It's the command line prompt show to indicate the start of each command line that don't start with. Typically shows the output of a previous command. Additionally, partial. Yes. All you need to understand is this is not anything that that is something in Rust, that is a concept, pattern matching concept. It is a pattern matching concept. When it's compared to the terminal, don't assume this is something like a Rust command, just a terminal thing. Just indicate that where is your line. If you are in a PowerShell, it will be something like this. And if you are in a for us, it's you can see here. Okay, if you are installing Rust, this is the command. Just copy paste I think I already have it. So just maybe I can show you. Okay, just wait a minute. We don't need this. Downloading install. All you need to do is just enter. That's it. So you can see this last installed, last is installed now. Great. Okay. Yeah, good to go. And these are the patch. Okay. So these are the patch to Rust. If you're using Linux and you need to update this path for this ZSH. Okay. If you're using Bash, you need to update this. If you're using Fizz, this is the command. Okay. And for new shell, and I'm not familiar with that. I never used it before. Okay, and that's just great. And all the things, other things on macOS, you just put this command in your macOS. The link should be generally installed on macOS. You can get a C coupler by running this Linux. Just very sorry for this. I just not paying attention to this line. Okay, you will not know. You yes, I need a link. Okay, so okay, okay. On Mac OS, I can get a SIG compiler by running this. I understand.